All right, so the book this week was Rise and Grind by Daymond John. A few things right off the bat. I didn't finish it. So this book is about, work ethic essentially, just as it says, rise and grind, just getting up and doing and all that. And paradoxically, it was the thing that killed my motivation, I feel. So, first off, it's not a bad book per se. If you are in that point, if you're starting out, if you don't know what you want, feel like your work ethic isn't all that great, then yeah, it's not a bad book. I mean, I don't even know where it is. That's how long it's been since I last read it. I got about halfway through the book, and that being said, there were things that stuck with me. I mean, like the stories that he told, the kind of the elements of the rise and grind, other people's lives. Those were interesting. Like the Kyle Maynard guy, who was born without arms and legs and is someone who has accomplished a good amount. And I did really like that quote where he said that he was talking about climbing, I want to say Kilimanjaro. Again, it's been a little bit and I would have touched up on the details, but I lost the book. Where he was talking about, I think he was climbing Kilimanjaro, and he looked and he was just thinking like how just daunting it was, how difficult it was. And it wasn't until he looked back and realized how much of the mountain he had already climbed that was like the trick. It's not seeing how much further you have to go, it's seeing what you've already done. So now that said, I'm going to get into a few criticisms of the book. One, it's kind of redundant. Like, it kind of fills that definition of the self-help fix where, you get into self-help, you get into self-improvement, and instead of actually improving yourself, you kind of just like read a book or read an article, or like you don't actually take action or anything. You just like consume a bit more information on self-help, and in that you get your little dopamine fix, and you're good. You felt like you did something, but you actually didn't. And so this book kind of embodied that for me, and through that element of self-help fix, my momentum just dropped for this channel, at least. There's a couple things I still kept up with, and there's other stuff happening in life. It's life. It's busy, it's chaotic. But yeah, this book was a poor timing and a poor decision on my part to read it. Aside from that, as far as criticism goes, I don't think Daymond John's a bad writer or anything. Like he has a very conversational style through the book, and a lot of the time that's a great approach, because when people read books, sometimes it can feel like homework when it's just like a textbook approach to explanations and whatnot. I'm having a bit of that problem right now reading a book called The 10-Day MBA, just trying to get a bit more idea of structure of what I should be doing for my business. And, again, ironically, that was the one that I've been more consistent with. And that's a difficult read. That one feels like homework, but I'm going through it because I can gain something from it. Rise and Grind, I think I'm beyond the point where I could really gain a lot from it. It's kind of like, it would have been a good book for me to read in a time when I would have had a worse work ethic, where ironically I probably would not have read a book. But as far as Daymond John's writing goes, it's conversational, it's good in that way. The only problem is I've noticed that some of these guys who are like motivational speakers, who are like people who are very very animated and jazz and all that, like they're really great to listen to if you hear them like a podcast or something. But honestly, when they write, like they talk, they can be a little bit long-winded. They can overemphasize a simple point, and that was something with Rise and Grind. There was a acronym in there for grind, I believe. He had another one for shark, and honestly, I wish I could remember it. It kind of got muddled down amidst just the amount of everything. Like, it's like 300 pages, and honestly, this book could be a lot shorter. Again, to be fair, I didn't finish it, and that is totally on me. That is my fault. I fell off the wagon. But that does, make it hard to avoid the reasons that I fell off the wagon. There's been books that were 300 pages that I read in a week, and I absolutely love them, and I burned through them. Things that have stuck with me, like $1 Trillion Coach, I still recommend. That is an excellent book. Anyone who wants to learn some elements of leadership, that is a solid book. This book, again, if you're starting off, maybe it's good for you. I don't know. I was thinking of reading Mana by Bedros Keuilian, but I'm kind of concerned it'll be a similar context of just like, it's just telling me to like get up and do it. And I'm thinking, if I'm already doing this stuff, why do I need to be sitting there reading a book of how I should be getting up doing it when I'm already doing it? Like if I'm reading a book for this channel to do a review on it, and I'm using this channel as a conduit to talk about these ideas, and I'm using this channel as a reason to keep me motivated with a little bit of a social bias. engaged, so I keep going. It's ironic if I read books about work ethic as opposed to just living it, you know? Which, you know, I don't know what kind of music any of you guys listen to. There's a band I listen to called Word Alive, and they have a song called Dreamer, where there's a line they say that just, it's so perfect for this kind of stuff, where it says, you're always waiting for the right moment when you just have to live in it. And it's like, this is kind of like, these books were just redundant for at least the point I'm at in, you know, my personal experience, my journey. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're in my position. Again, if you're starting out, maybe take it with a grain of salt, check it out. Obviously, the dude is immensely accomplished. He's done a lot. He's on Shark Tank, you know, we all know that already. I've actually never really watched the show, but frankly, because I try not to watch too much TV, and if I do watch a show, I just want it to be relaxing, not just like, you know, gotta learn all the time, because, you know, you gotta have the balance in life. This, you know, not everyone wants to be Elon Musk. So, yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I didn't finish it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Long-winded, which is also a reason I've never finished a Tony Robbins book. Not bad information, you know, he's conversational and all that. It's pretty much similar context. I think Tony Robbins does a little bit better to get points across, and a little bit, I was about to say quicker, that's totally wrong. A little bit more clarified and emphasized the right points, but aside from that, as motivational speakers when they write books, man, they get long, because those people are driven and they will just keep working, and, you know, there's a merit to conciseness. So I think it would have been better if it was a bit closer to maybe the length of like Peter Drucker's Managing Oneself, because that book has some solid quotes in it, and just straight to the point, quick read, and that might be one that I'll do a review on later. But now I got to figure out what I'm going to review next, because I lost a ton of momentum with this book, and I kind of loosely have a goal for, you know, a book a week this year. I don't think I'm going to make that so far. I guess it's only been a few weeks, so if I just read a couple short books, I'll catch up. But anyway, thanks for watching.